Welcome to the Ho Ho Show, rated the #1 most listened to podcast on Pluto. So join us now as we discuss news, politics, current events, and so much more. So clear the airways and strap in as we defend the Constitution. Because freedom matters.
Broadcasting live from the Cottage Studio. You can check out my website, thehohoshow.com. I'm all over the place on social media, the proud member of Weaponized Sloth Productions. So welcome to the Ho Ho Show, and as always, I am your host, Ho Ho. Yeah. All right, so welcome everybody. Welcome Spreaker, welcome Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, Periscope, and Facebook. How y'all's doing today? I hope you guys are doing good and son of a gun. All right, I got this. I got this. I really do. There it is. I got this. There it is. Sweet. Wasn't that horrible. I forgot to do something, but now the chat window is up. Yay. Okay. All right. Now we're good. Whew. So yeah, how's everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing good. I am joined in studio today by none other than Mr. Vacker. How you doing today, sir?
Doing pretty good.
Rock on. So, guys, we've got a little bit of a different episode, a little bit of a strange episode. I mean, and that's saying something, even coming from me, because we're going to be talking like basically two completely different sides of the spectrum, in a matter of speaking. You know, I mean, we're talking like way, way, way long time ago, and we're talking like right meow. So, I mean, holy crap. You know, two different sides of the spectrum. It was entertaining to me whenever I actually sat and thought about, dude, this is like totally weird. And I've actually been wanting to talk about one of the, things for a while, but.
Yeah.
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 And then, of course, the one with the video on Facebook I'm going to be playing. I've actually wanted to do this like quite a few times, but every time I've gotten around to where I was going to do it, it was like, I have no idea where the video's at, which, a great thing about Facebook is, the videos keep going around, so they keep going around. And, if you can't find it, just wait a little while and, it'll pop up again. So, I mean, it's okay. And hello, how we're over there in Facebook land. How you doing today, sir? You doing well? You doing good? Oh, you want to text me a movie for the other show? Sweet. That'll be awesome. Heck yes. Text that to me. Or you can just put it in the chat. It doesn't matter. Either way you want to do it, that would be awesome. So we got a video for you guys because the first thing we want to touch base on, should we just go ahead and dive into it?
Yeah, because I have yet to see the video. I mean, it's been circulating through my news feed, and I just haven't got around to watching it.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is... I mean, there's a couple different aspects of this I want to talk about. It's talking about the failure of the mainstream media, what the mainstream media is actually about, and basically you'll come to find out that the voice of the mainstream media doesn't actually belong to the mainstream media. And that is very evident in this video I'm going to play for you guys. And another aspect of this, and hello, Dathan, how are you doing today, sir? Good to see you over there in YouTube land. Now, is this my bald buddy or is this my favorite redhead? Now I'm kind of curious about this one. Sometimes we got to be clear on who it is that we's talking to. The bald buddy or my favorite redhead. You like how I put the bald buddy? Mm-hmm. I like that. That's pretty good. And he's bald by choice, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. Oh, this is my favorite redhead. Oh, hi. It's my favorite redhead. She's awesome. I haven't seen her in a while. I need to aggravate you again. And Dave, because it's fun. It is. It's entertaining. So that's what the first aspect of this is. And then we're going to, kind of slide into that and slide into, basically alternative media. Because me personally, that's where I get most of my information from anymore. I don't get it from mainstream media, and I haven't for some time. There for a while I was listening to different talk shows on Sirius XM, but for the most part, not too much anymore. How about you?
I had different places where I was getting my information from in the beginning, but then, it gets annoying when you have to cross-reference it to make sure that their facts are legit, and then you're finding out, no, it's all bogus crap.
Right. Yeah. All right, guys. So without any further ado, without any more gilding of the lily, let's watch this absolutely amazing quick little video over here on Facebook.
Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities.
The El Paso, Las Cruces communities.
Eastern Iowa communities.
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But we are concerned about troubling irresponsible, one-sided news stories
Plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 All right, now, first off, I'm kind of like Brandon on this whenever it comes to mistaking clips for magazines or magazines for clips or however they do it. Let me get off the screen again. Now, you're just sitting here, and I had to laugh because you're sitting here just shaking your head. You know what? As somebody who, this is the first time seeing this video, I've seen it a few times. I mean, this is not the first time this has come across my news feed. This isn't the first time that I've watched that video. So what are your first thoughts, sir?
Wow. What a great way to control the populace.
Exactly. Now, like I was saying earlier, I mean, Brandon has the same type of thing whenever it comes to, talking about magazines and clips. There is a difference, okay? And words have meaning, and those meanings are important. So whenever they're over there repeating whatever it is that they were repeating, this is bad for our democracy. What was it they were saying?
Was it this is dangerous to our
something
democracy?
Like that. Anyway, I noticed one of our local channels was on there. Yeah, me too. And Fox News was on there. And yeah, so hello, Kind Joey. Good to see you over there following. Thank you very much for the follow over there on Mixer. Love it, sir. But okay, here's the thing. This of what we have here, this isn't a democracy. The United States of America is not, nor has it ever been, a democracy. We are a constitutional republic. Now I know for our younger generation, considering they do not say, the Pledge of Allegiance in school anymore, us older folks, we grew up saying that repeatedly every single day with our hand over our heart, facing the flag in the room. That's what we used to say every single day. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That's what we said every day. So we may not have necessarily have understood, but the word was still there, present, and screaming us in the face. And now to hear repeatedly the whole, this is what democracy looks like, the chant of, some of the Antifa or whatever groups of people that is, Okay, look, guys, for one, you guys don't want a democracy. Because what a democracy looks like is you have two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner. That's what a democracy looks like. Oh, it's great for the wolves. Kind of sucks for the sheep. And let me tell you something. Y'all are sheep. I hate to tell you. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but y'all are sheep. So you don't want a democracy. This is a constitutional republic. Okay? It's not a democracy. Yes, we use the democratic process, but whenever it comes to our main core bodies of law, am I saying that right? That sounds good. When it comes to the core of what this nation is, it's a constitutional republic. That's what it is.
It shocks me that so many people don't know that. That, you know, man, excuse me, that it's a constitutional republic.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, whenever you have things like this, whenever the lie is being repeated to you and repeated to you and repeated to you, after a while, it kind of, even to, you know, for the most intelligent among us, it breaks you down a little bit and you start to believe the lie, you know, and that's what I kind of think it just amounts to. You know, I think that, you know, those, you know, mainstream media, those in Congress, whatever the case may be, I just think that they've lied enough that most people don't, you know, the people that it is their responsibility, is their honor to teach our youth. You would think that, you know, one, it would mean something to them, that what they taught was actually accurate and truthful information. But you would also think, well, okay, as a student of those people, they take it for what it is. You know, they just believe them. And that's kind of what I think it is. You know, that's my humble opinion, you know. I could be wrong. But that's what I think it kind of amounts to. You know, I just think that they say it. The students are just automatically like, okay, well, hey, you know what? We've got to listen to our teacher. We got to pass this test, whatever the case may be. Doesn't really matter what the truth is. This is what I have to believe. And it doesn't really go any farther than that. You know? That's what I think.
Yeah.
Which leads us to, I'm sorry, did you have something?
No.
Oh, okay. Which kind of leads me into, you know, what's the option? You know, that's the question. What's the option? Where else are we supposed to get our news? Where else are we supposed to find out what's going on around here? Holy crap. How do we do this? Tell me. I almost said, like, hold me. Okay, anyway. Oh, thank you. You know, but that's what it is. I mean, you know, there are options, you know, and there's a lot of options out there, you know, that it's one of the things I love about today's day and age. You know, I do. I simply love it. It's one of the things that's terrifying, but at the same time, it's awesome and amazing all at the same time. Mm-hmm. Technology, because it's like, you know, here I've got this little bitty robot sitting next to me, you know, and if I say his name, he's going to wake up and he's going to start yelling at me, you know. But part of the marketing thing of this little gizmo thing, smart enough to take over the world, but nice enough not to, you know, and that's awful nice of him not to, you know. But technology, you know, I mean, that's the fear, you know. I mean, you got movies like Terminator, iRobot. That's what they're talking about. You know, it's about the machines taking over, you know. So, I mean, there's the Ermiger, you know, there's the fearful aspect of this, that you know, the machines are going to get too big for their britches and have to start building bigger britches. And what the heck kind of analogy was that? And then it's just an aspect of us like, do we have we have a computer in the palm of our hand that we can literally, you know, look something up and find out what the truth is like that. Like that. That was horrible. That was a horrible snap, dude. I should be ashamed of myself.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Thanks. But yeah, I mean, we have a literal computer in the palm of our hand to where we can just, you know, it's the information age, you know. I mean, information travels at the literal sound of light. Does light have a sound? At the speed of light. It's amazing. I should just give up. That's horrible. I hate it when my mind just doesn't like to cooperate with me. But anyway, you know, with the information age, it's awesome, you know, because you have, you know, just the ability to communicate, the ability to, on all kinds of mediums, all kinds of different places, all kinds of different platforms, all kinds of different ways, whether it be live, like you're watching Meow, or whether it be in a later pre-recorded time. And hello, Nick, over there in Facebook land. Good to see you, sir. And he's got the eyeballs. He's saying, I'm watching you.
I'm creeping.
I'm creeping. I'm creeping on you. Mm-hmm. I like them there French fried taters. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Dude, how long did it take you to realize that was that guy?
Sling Blade?
Yes.
Not long. It was almost instantaneous.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how long it took me? Credits. And then I had to rewatch it again. Yeah, I kid you not. It didn't look like, I mean, they told me that, oh yeah, he's in there. What's his name, by the way? Billy Bob Thornton, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I heard that, yes, Billy Bob Thornton's in Sling Blade, and I'm like watching a movie, and I'm like, it's in the back of my head that I should be looking for Billy Bob Thornton. And the whole entire time I'm watching this movie, I'm like, all right, anytime now, Billy Bob Thornton. Yeah. Billy Bob Thornton was that guy. No. I had to rewind, and I'm slow sometimes. You know, I am. I'm slow sometimes. So anyway.
He's purring.
No, he's snoring.
Oh,
His eyes
snoring.
are closed. He's snoring. Okay, we're good. He's all right. He's still asleep. That kind of takes us into, you know, where else you're going to go to get information in order to, you know, be informed, stay informed, be on top of things, get your entertainment in short. Where do you go?
Alternative media.
Exactly. And there's all kinds of different places. You know, there's podcasts, there's YouTube, there's this, that, and the other. You know, and I tell you what, I actually heard a digit. I was listening to the Spreaker live show hosted by, Yes, You Can Post Here. Oh, that's Zoo Hybo, I believe. I believe that's how it is, how that's pronounced. And yes, Master Poster, I do remember you from, what was that, a couple months ago maybe? A month or two ago that you were in here. So that's awesome. Glad to see you. Yes, I do remember you. Zoo Hybo, and I believe I'm saying that right. And yes, it means Master Poster. But anyway, over there in YouTube land, and welcome, sir. Good to see you again. But I heard a digit. I was listening to the Spreaker live show, which is hosted by Rob Greenlee, co-hosted by Alex Exum, and a digit that they threw out there was that only, like 82, 83% of the population is unaware or don't listen to podcasts on a regular basis. I was like, dude, are you kidding me? Really?
Really?
Yeah. Now, see, that's even lower than what I thought, because I thought it was about, about 66, between 65 and 67% is what I thought it was. But no, it's like actually like 82, 83% of the population don't. Now, I don't know if that was like a U.S. population or a global population. I'm really not sure. They didn't really give that information. And hello, Snarkette. Good to see you over there in Spreaker. Yes, awesome. Good to see you. But so I'm not exactly sure, where it was that they were talking about that, but it was like 82 or 83%. I forget which one it was that Rob said. But I was like, dude, you got to be kidding me.
It's actually shocking considering podcasting is really rising. It's taken off big time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it really has been, But, I mean, my thing is, it's like in the beginning, I could kind of understand that because, podcasting, Apple, iPod, that's where it was. And I think I think in a matter of speaking, a lot of people may be under that same type of mental block on it as to where that's why they don't even, because I'm not about Apple. And like 80 some odd percent of the cell phone industry is, Android. So, I mean, I am not now, nor have I ever been a big Apple user. My family is, I'm not, I know you're an Android fan. So it's like, as far as podcasts, that's just probably where a lot of people are. But I mean, for the most part, though, there's so many different places you can get it. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's everywhere. The new thing that just got released not that long ago was that podcasting is now, Pandora is starting you know, to get a library together for podcasts. And I'm like, dude, that's actually kind of cool, you know, because if they do it, if they kind of mix what they're already doing and they now granted, this is going to be a lot of work, a lot of algorithmic things that they're going to have to do, you know, smart people stuff that they're going to have to do in order for it to really be, you know, plugged in and utilized. But I mean, even still, it's like, how's it going to help the little guy? But at the same time, you know, part of what, you know, Pandora does is it allows people to be introduced to things that they may not have just found on their own. You know what I mean? Because Pandora does a playlist based off of what you like, you know, and if they kind of, if they're able to get that same type of thing and convert it into with people that listen to podcasts, that's actually pretty awesome. Because one of the struggles with doing a show of that nature, of this nature, is getting found, getting discovered, getting out there, you know. So for something like that to be able to, you know, get it to somebody that may not necessarily be able to find it on their own, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think about that?
Oh, I think that's amazing, especially just having one that's fairly new. You know, and I cover a broad range of hobbies. So it's like, you know, with Spreaker, that's what I had to set it at because there's just so much that I cover. It's like, it's just hobbies.
Yeah.
So to have people on Pandora that maybe they're into certain things, you know, it would push mine in.
It's Christine Conti. How you doing? How you doing, Christine? Good to see you over there in Spreaker land. Awesome, awesome. But yeah, you were saying, I'm sorry. I got distracted. I distracted you. That's my bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, but my whole train of thought just went.
It happens sometimes. But you know, you having a you know, relatively new and with going into hobbies, you know, so
it gives you more of a chance of getting out there.
Right. Well, that's one of the things that they say, you know, that if you're having a hard time getting listeners, then, you know, further put yourself into a box and further niche yourself, which I don't know. You know, it's kind of, I don't know how I feel, but it's like, dude, how could, you know, and this is the thing, this is my brain at work right here. You know, how can me narrowing my listener base give me more listeners? How in the world does that work? You know, and that's my thought process on that. But that's more or less what they tell you to do. And I'm like, I don't even understand. Does not compute. You know,
I was just getting ready to say that. It doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense to me whatsoever. But that's what they say. You know, and people that are smarter than me and understand the industry more. But that's what they say. But I'm like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. So, yeah, I don't know. So I mean, yeah, with you know, this show, I mean, I'm on. Where am I?
You're everywhere.
I'm everywhere. iHeartRadio. What's that one that starts with an S?
Spotify?
Yeah, Spotify. I'm on Spotify. Thank you. I'm glad you keep track of what I'm doing. So I'm on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, something else, and I'm almost everywhere I was able to go. And now, hopefully, I don't know. I might wait for a little while to see about what's going on with Pandora. Just kind of, I don't know, look at some numbers and wait. Or I might dive into it. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I don't know. I have no idea.
But it is great to see more and more of these platforms stepping up to embrace the podcasters and pull them in.
Oh, yeah. Well, with me, it's, you know, considering the hardest part about it is getting found, you know, you know, some people are against putting their stuff out there everywhere. You know, for me personally, it's you got to go where the listeners are, you know, that's just part of it. You know, that's what you got to do. You know, you got to go where the people are listening. And if they're listening in iHeartRadio, then you go to iHeartRadio. And I'm not speaking very well, but you know, if that's where your listeners are at, then that's where you go. You know, it makes perfect logical sense to me. You know, so why would you not?
Insanity.
Yeah. Yeah. This was a short segment, but we're going to take a quick little commercial break, and when we return, okay, now this is going to be the weird part. of today's show because we're going to the other end of the spectrum. We've talked modern technology and where we're at and just how awesome some of it is and getting out there and getting discovered and alternative media because, let's face it, ladies and gents, mainstream media is failing us. They are lying to you. It is propaganda-based lies. You know, I mean, that's what it is. You know, it's, you see, okay, all right, let's pause this, you know, because this is impotent. This is impotent. You know, like I say impotent, just impotent. Anyway, I just take some letters out because I'm weird like that. But anyway, a news organization, you know, they are supposed to give you the news. Okay, they're not supposed to withhold information in order to sway your opinion to get you to go to a particular side of an argument. That is not their job. Their job is to give you information and the whole of information. You know, I've told somebody before that, you know, it is okay to, you know, it's okay to have your own opinion, and that's fine. But you can't pick and choose your own facts because facts are what the facts are. You really can't do that, especially if you are a news organization. That is not what you're supposed to do. That is not how you're supposed to go about doing things. You know, whenever you do it that way, you are not a news organization. You are a propaganda machine, period, end of story. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Well, if you're in that type of business for journalism, your opinions have no business being there.
Exactly.
Keep them to yourself, and then when you're off the clock, yeah, you can have all the opinions you want. Mm-hmm. But when you're on the clock, keep them shut.
Yeah. Which is also kind of one of the things about, you know, like, okay, all right, I didn't intend on talking about him, you know, the little CNN guy, you know. He did not conduct himself professionally. He did not conduct himself in a manner that I would think represents CNN as a whole, or maybe the company that, never mind. Maybe he did. Who knows? But CNN is now suing the White House because he got kicked out of the press room. And you know what, Brandon? I know you guys talked about it on Brandon's show last week and more or less on the Machine Radio show. And I know that one of the things that he was talking about with that was, dude, they should just kick everybody out and say, okay, done. Now we're done. You know, CNN has just screwed it for everybody. You know, I mean, come on, why not? If I was Trump, I would have a hard time not doing that if I was Trump. Right. I got to be honest with you, you know. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because I know he got let back in. He got his pass back.
Yeah, which
because they were claiming, you know, freedom of the press and everything. It was like, well, yeah, fine, get somebody else to come in. Yeah. He himself is not allowed here anymore. Yeah. That's like my job. I work as a security officer. Mm-hmm. If you know, you conduct yourself right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
why? You're not allowed here anymore.
And what's the company to do, or you know, the security company that you work for? What are they to do besides? Okay, fine. I guess we will get somebody else in here because obviously, you know, the fight's over. You done screwed yourself out of a job, or at least this position, you know. Mm-hmm. So go, bye-bye, go somewhere else. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick interlude. And when we return, ancient Egypt, ancient civilization. I tell you what, I am very, very intrigued by ancient technology. Because, yes, what you thought you knew isn't exactly accurate. Be right back. All right, guys. So welcome back to the Ho Ho Show. And Deb put something in Facebook chat that, like, right whenever I hit the button, whenever I went on the break, it popped up the screen. The White House is going to change the rules for the press. So is that? I hadn't actually heard that, but that wouldn't really surprise me on that. I'm actually kind of curious to see how things change, because I really do think that they're going to change some things to really limit. Well, I guess I should say put the press back in their place, you know, because it's not their house. It's the White House. It's the president's house. You know, it's not the press's house. They're in there by invitation, you know, and that's what I think these stuck on themselves, you know, press people don't quite realize. They're there by invitation, you know. That's it. The house doesn't belong to them. It's the president's house. Yeah. They're there out of the kindness of the president's heart.
You're a guest. Act accordingly.
You know, yeah. You know, there was a day and age where that actually meant something. I'm a fan of the Dresden Files. I don't know if you've really gotten into that.
I haven't got a lot into it, but I have seen some of it.
I have listened to and or read every single book, and we're talking like 15 in the main series, and then he's got basically 2 collections of short stories, you know, 2 novelettes, 2 you know what I'm saying. And so, and I've read through every single, or heard, because Audible, you know, truck driver, I listen to a lot of things. So I've listened to like 3 times, all of them, 17 books. We're talking a lot of listening.
Oh, yeah.
I've done it like a few times. So I'm a fan of the Dresden Files. And so, I mean, you know, they do some like old school rules from like back in the day, you know, and that, you know, the obligation of guest and host actually meant something back then. But anyway, which is a great segue for going into our next topic, ancient Egypt. It's like how I tied that in there. You know, that was very, very good. I like that. It's almost like I've done this a time or two. But ancient Egypt. Okay, guys. All right. First of all, I want to kind of paint a picture, because I was talking with a gentleman that I know not that long ago about ancient technology. Okay. Now, here's what I want to, you know, before you start making judgment and passing judgment that, oh, this is impossible, yada, yada, blah, blah. Okay. And before we really get into the discussion, let me paint a picture for you. All right. Meteor coming down, hitting the polar ice cap. Basically melts immediately. Millions of gallons of water evaporate, come down in the form of rain over the next week or two. Okay. Because of that amount of flooding, because of how high the water is going to go, because of the waves, okay, you're talking 80 to 90% of the population gone in a week, because 80, 90% of the population lives on the, you know, on the coastal areas. Okay. They're gone with this wave, tidal wave, the rain, flooding, everything really, really bad. Okay. Now, there's there's National Geographic's news that says, you know, when you don't know the word to use, you just make one up and say it with confidence. But there's geological evidence that says that, you know, something like this actually did happen. And there's evidence of this all around the place. I love it. About 12,600 years ago. Yeah. Anyway, awesome stuff, by the way. And so think about it. If that actually happened, which there is evidence, and it is all over the place, you can see it, there's geological evidence of this. If that were to happen today, how much of our technology would actually survive after, let's say, 4 generations, 5 generations? How much of our technology would survive? You know, churning butter was a thing back in the day. I can't do it now. You know, I can't make a cell phone. I can't make a red Solo cup. I can't make some of the gizmos I have on my desk. I can't make a cell phone. I can't make a soundboard. I can't make a computer. I can't use the technology I got. Electricity is going to be gone. You know, that much water, that much flooding, that many, you know, electricity's out. So how much of our civilization, how much would actually survive? You know, intriguing questions. The Titanic is going to be basically no more within the next, 100 years. I think that's about what they're saying.
At least, 100 years.
About 100 years, the Titanic, you're not even going to be able to, it's not going to be there anymore. It's going to be consumed by rust and everything else. I mean, the swimming pool will remain intact, you know. I mean, let's face it. I mean, it still has water in it.
That's a bad joke, man.
I know. Sorry, when I talk Titanic, I got to bring that up, you know, because it's intact, man. It's still doing its job. It's still holding water. That's all I'm saying, you know.
Nature will be reclaiming the Titanic.
Exactly, you know. I mean, and you can go on YouTube and you can watch, you know, people that go and explore, you know, these, abandoned cities and things like that. You know, I mean, it doesn't really take long for nature to reclaim, you know, and for the buildings to turn into rubble, and you know, so I mean, it ain't going to take long, you know, and besides, I mean, with the exception of, you know, some presidents that are carved onto a mountain, with the exceptions of some statues of people that may or may not have monkey ears on them. You know, Thaddeus, I think is what his name was.
I think.
Planet of the Apes.
Mm-hmm.
I know you know where I'm going with that. So, you know, with the exception of that kind of stuff, you know, what evidence is going to be around after, you know, a few hundred years? Let's just say a millennia. After a millennia, now let's just go back to 300 years. After 300 years, how much evidence is really going to be left of our own civilization? You know, probably not much. You know, I don't think it's going to take that long for nature to consume libraries and books.
No, it won't.
You know, technology isn't going to last that long. You know, I mean, your chip, you know, a magnetic strip in a phone isn't going to, or a magnetic strip on a cassette recorder isn't going to last that long. You know, magnets lose their magnetism, you know, so I mean, it's only a matter of time. So that's where I leave you with that. Now, let's go into ancient Egypt. Because I tell you what, I'm a fan of ancient Egypt. I always have been, okay? And some of this is, it's like, okay, 2 + 2, and they're telling me banana. And it's like, dude, okay, I went to school. I learned math. That doesn't make sense. You know, it doesn't make sense. You know, let's think of the ancient pyramids of Egypt. What did you learn in school about what they were?
That they were burial chambers for pharaohs.
Exactly. Now, what did they not ever find in any of the Great Pyramids?
Burial chambers or pharaohs or dead people.
Exactly. Okay, so how can you claim on one hand, and by the way, thank you, iKibbles410, for the follow over there on Mixer. Thank you very, very much. But yeah, how can you claim something to be, you know, a cemetery if there are no tombstones or dead people in them? How could you claim that?
Where did the automatic assumption come from?
Because they have no other explanation. And that's kind of what I think it is. It's like, okay, we have this huge thing. That's got to be what it is. So that's what they tell people, you know, even though they know basically that it isn't. Okay, now here's the thing. Let's go a little bit on the flip side of this. Now, the Tomb of the Kings, which they have found, okay, now there are hieroglyphs, there's pictograms and Pictionaries in there, and there's dead people all over the place, okay? The Great Pyramids of Egypt, there's not a single drawing on the wall. There's not a single pictogram, pictograph, pictophone, nothing on any of the walls, nor is there any, you know, like any tombs, anything. You know, there's nothing. You know, bare walls, open floor, no bodies. So it's like, okay, well, if it's not this, well, then what is it? That's the question. What is it? That's the question. What is it? Come on, guys. What is it? Okay, now, here's the thing now. Okay, now, this is not the first time, you know, watching this guy, because I am a fan of this guy on YouTube. All right, goes by the channel name of Bright Insight. Check him out. Actually, it's a very good channel. I do like it. You know, Bright Insight, and he's got some awesome things on this. Now, granted, whenever I first watched this on his channel, This isn't the first time that I had seen this information. This isn't the first time that I had read it. This isn't the first time that I had been presented with this whatsoever, okay? But let's rewind the clock just a little bit, okay? You look at the construction of this, okay? Are you going to... They are basically saying that they had, such precision in their construction. I mean, precision. Like, I'm talking blocks so close together, cut so fine, huge blocks, like 50-ton blocks. That's 100,000 pounds, guys. That's a lot of rock right there. And one of them. And then they had like a bunch that they used, and you're going to cut that with such precision that you can't even put a piece of paper between the two. No mortar. You can't even put a piece of paper, not a razor blade, not a nothing, not on one side, not on two sides, but every side that is fit together with. You're going to tell me that you did that on a huge rock that is hard, and they did it with granite, and they did it with other things, with a bronze chisel and a stone hammer. It's impossible. A type of church or community gathering area. Well, even still though, it doesn't have any type of a anything in it. There's no designs on the wall. There's no altars. No altars. No nothing in there. Now there is different. And I'm actually kind of glad you brought that up, because here's the thing that I thought was pretty interesting about. Any ancient civilization, whenever we look ancient civilizations up, is that every one of them may not have a place of, what's that word I'm looking for? Like a community center or something like that. Not every place has a building of law, but every single ancient civilization has a place of worship. Interesting. I thought that was interesting. Okay, but anyway, back to this. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. But with that kind of precision, but they would have you believe that they did all this with a rock hammer and a bronze chisel, which, I'm sorry, guys, bronze it's Lily Price. How you doing? Say hello to Barney for me. Yes, it is good to see you over there in YouTube land. Awesome to see you. It's been a while since I've seen you. Where you been? You're grounded, young lady. Young lady. Anyway, you're not grounded. You're not grounded. If you are grounded, you're ungrounded now. I unground you. Dad? Okay, so now I'm getting in trouble. Anyway, but the powers that be, that teach people would have you believe that they did all this with, a butt ton of slaves, a lot of rope, logs, heaving and hoeing, chucking and jiving, all the way through some mountains and up a mountain and down a mountain and all this, and then they cut it and they chiseled it perfectly. I mean, perfect. For us to duplicate their technology, we have to use laser precision and diamond drills in order to duplicate the accuracy that they did this. That's intriguing to me. That's like, holy crap. Not to mention even talking about the transportation aspect of it. I'm talking just cutting it. Laser and diamond bit stuff. It's ooh. Okay, Christine Conti put in here, I just saw a headline this week. They discovered a ramp they believe helped in the construction. It's very possible. And I also...
I was going to say, I think I know what she's talking about. It's buried underneath a bunch of silt.
They have discovered it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we know that this wasn't... Okay, let's just put it this way. We know, and this is an aspect of use a little bit of common sense, people. We know that it didn't happen quite the way that it did. And especially whenever you take into consideration what is possible. I have had a lot going on during that weekend, so I missed your show. Yeah, I've missed seeing you. I haven't seen you in a while. So things going good, everything kind of going better. I hope so, by the way, I really do. But yeah, and dude, we don't even know, because of how the topography changes. Is that the right word? It sounds good. Yeah. Of how the of how the topographical stuff changes in Egypt. Words are amazing. I'm telling you, English as a second language is absolutely phenomenal. But how it changes so much over there, sometimes it's really hard to know what's actually under there. It really is, And the Egyptian civilization isn't, the Egyptians aren't really forthcoming on, excavating and stuff of that nature. So it's really hard to tell what's really going on. But we do know some simple things. It's like 1 + 1 = 2 when they're trying to tell you banana peel. Something don't quite add up here, guys. And they want us to believe that, So what do you think about it?
You were bringing up about the bronze chisel and the stone hammer. Yeah. And I even watched a documentary on that. And they had an expert mason.
Yes.
And he could not even get a perfect straight cut with it.
Oh, yeah.
So that should tell you something right there.
Mm-hmm. So, it's impossible. It's impossible. So, what... There's been evidence of certain things that they have found over there. Evidence of, big industrial-sized saws. Not necessarily saw blades, but it's like, okay, dude, this is a pit. This is some stuff. They have evidence in stone that basically a drill bit cut into the stone. It's like there ain't no way this was done without the aid of a drill bit. That's how we would do it. Why would you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I know. It's hard. It's hard to wrap your mind around. I get it. It's hard to wrap your mind around. You look at our technology today. You look at how long it has taken us, which really isn't that long in the grand scheme of things. How long did it take us to get from wheel to grinding wheel? How long did it take us to get from grinding wheel to light bulb? How long did it take us to get from light bulb to cell phone? It really has gone by freaking quick. This thing has only been around. Okay, let's assume this is an iPhone. 10 years, maybe 11 years. 10, 11 years, maybe 12. That's all the iPhones have been out. Not that long. So, I understand that it's hard to wrap your brain around. Okay, but I just made my phone vibrate. I'm not even touching it right now. Never mind. So I know that it's hard to wrap your brain around. I know that it's hard for a lot of people to accept. But it's like, dude, Spock put it very well when he said, once you have exhausted all other possibilities, whatever is left, however improbable, must be the answer. I know I did not get that quote right, but I was pretty darn close, and you guys know what I'm saying. It was pretty good, though, wasn't it?
It was.
Right off the top of my head, just being able to spit that out almost like I knew what I was talking about. That was awesome. I'm okay, really, I am. Anyway, what do you think about all this?
I think you're on to something,
Yeah.
You really have to think about it.
Yeah. Because, you can't just accept what they're telling you, knowing. Just because it's like, okay, we wasn't around back then, we don't know what they used. It's like, okay, but even still, we know what they didn't use. A bronze chisel and a rock hammer. We know they didn't do that. So it just goes to show you that, okay, if that's what we think they used, we know they used something more. We may not know what they used, but it still brings the question that we know that what we're getting taught isn't truth. But they don't have a better explanation for it. So I have watched. Okay, let me do Jeopardy on here. Do. Form this in the say this in the form of a question. You know, what do you think the Great Pyramids were? They are obviously not burial chambers.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, or what have you heard, or what makes sense to you as to what they are?
You want me to give the answer?
I want you to give the
it.
answer. I really do. Because it's, dude, I tell you what, because this is okay, I want you guys to think. Now, before he tells you, I want you guys to think about this. Think about Nikola Tesla. Think about what he envisioned for society. Think about what type of technology he did. Think about how he was wanting to implement it. And think about Nikola Tesla before he gives that answer. And before that, Christine Conti on here says, I agree, always strange how stones were precisely cut. Another odd site was Puma. Not sure I have the name right. Amazing, huge stones. Yeah, I mean, and dude, there's all kinds of places down in Central and South America, you know, just all over the places. And how do you start a web show? Ooh, necessity is the mother of invention. Absolutely, Deb. You got it 100% right on there. Necessity is the mother of invention. And then destroy. You know, I can see, really, I can. Destroy. I almost read that. That's a good name, sir. I like your name. Welcome over there in Spreaker Land. How do you start a web show? You get a camera, get a microphone, and then you go.
Jump in with both feet and run.
Run like hell. Get a topic and find something you're passionate in, sir. That's it. Definitely.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, get something you're passionate about. But yeah, think about Nikola Tesla, you know, and I'm serious about that. Think about Nikola Tesla, because once he gives the answer, just call you Destroy. Okay, I will do that. Destroy. I like your name though. I really do. I'll tell you what it is later. It's awesome. So, but yeah, think about before you dismiss what the, you know, and this is okay. This is the thing. All right. So before it was like, what setting do I go to? What you mean, sir? As far as I use OBS as far as my streaming platform goes, my streaming service, or I use OBS for the thing. I use Restream.io to send it to multiple places. Yeah, I may have to do that one of these things as far as like a how-to. Josh Patrick's puts on here. He goes, there were landing platforms for alien spacecrafts. No. Anyway.
I'm not telling you it's aliens, but technology.
I'm not saying it's alien technology, but, you know, but before he mentions what these are, or at least, and here's the thing though too, the more we research, you know, what it's made out of and what the purpose of these different things are, got to go, all right, well, I do thank you very much for stopping by, sir, and hope to see you again next time. But the more let's just put it this way. The more they research this and the more they study it and the more that they try to disprove what others think it is, the more they're kind of like, I don't see how this could have been anything else. Okay? And that's more or less what it is boiling down to now as far as what they are saying it is. So, you know, it's an aspect of think of that, know that, and remember Nikola Tesla. Okay? Because Nikola Tesla, besides being the inventor, the founder, the creator of the very electricity you are using in your home right now, he believed in a cable-free society. This man literally took a light bulb, you know, by one of his power poles, which is like a Jetson-looking thing. You know, it's just a tower, no cables. It's a tower, generator of electricity, using hydroelectricity, by the way, of a flowing river underneath it. That's what he used. He took the light bulb, he put it into the ground, and guess what the light bulb did? It shined. It lit up. Ground. Generator. No cables. That's what Nikola Tesla did. This is not science fiction. This was science fact, guys. That's what's awesome about this. So, did I just give it away?
Possibly.
Crap. So what do you think is the Great Pyramids were?
Well, Alex, I have to say, what is a generator?
Exactly. It was a power plant. That's more or less what they're saying it is, And the more that they research it, the more they look into it, the more they look at, these different rocks that they were using, this, that, and the other, and the more they really research into it and its purpose, because it's like it would be believable that it was accidental, that it was just coincidence if it was like one type of rock that they used. Exactly, Deb. She says, wow, exactly. It would be believable if it was coincidence, if it was one type of rock that they used that is great for conducting electricity, to act as a storer of electricity, as a capacitor of electricity, Got to go. All right, well, I do thank you very much for stopping by, Lily. You are amazing, and I will see you next time. But, like I said, it would be easy to accept it as coincidence if like one type of stone that they used in the construction was for electrical purposes. Maybe even coincidence if it was 2, maybe even 3. But basically every type of stone, not only every type of stone that they used on the inside where some of this stuff was going to, but the outside, the fact that it had a gold, which is a very good conductor of electricity. We use that in our cell phones now as the
cap.
Yes, thank you. The cap thing that they had on there, it was gold, a solid gold piece of metal. Solid gold piece of gold. That's what it was. It wasn't a solid gold piece of silver. It was a solid gold piece of gold. So I mean, it would be. So it would be a coincidence if it was that, but for like every aspect of it to be basically for harnessing, conducting electricity, that goes beyond the scope of coincidence. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because and there's a list that the guy just mentioned as far as the different things that they used in here. I think dorite might have been one of the blocks that they used. I know they used like a limestone or something for the outer plates.
Mm-hmm.
On the outside of it, maybe.
Yeah, I'm almost positive it's limestone because I think that's what the Sphinx is made out of.
Yes.
Because another thing that would be just be coincidence is if there was a large reservoir of water underneath.
Well, actually, according to Bright Insight, now this is what's weird.
Mm-hmm.
We already know that the Nile used to run over there.
Yes.
We already know this. They speculate, don't ask me how, they use like scientific crap to explain this, that it ran to it, under it.
Over the top.
And over it. I don't even get how that's possible. He used like scientific stuff to explain how it is possible with the flow of water, with having enough force behind it to carry it up and over. And yeah, okay, whatever. Sure, we'll go with that. I have no clue. But there is an ocean underneath it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is. Because the Sphinx, with what it's made out of, is absorbing the water, and it's actually eroding at an extreme rate that eventually it's going to be gone. They're trying to do what they can to slow it down, but eventually nature's going to take it back.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that was interesting that there was, because I had seen that, we had discussed this, was it like last week or something?
It might have been last week, couple weeks
because
ago.
I had watched a thing on History Channel or Discovery. I think it was Discovery, and they were talking about this large body of water, this ocean underneath.
Yeah, I mean it's a huge river, flowing river, and I tell you what, man, it's like, and I mean, granted, I mean it's hard to take in, it's hard to believe, it's hard to wrap your brain around because it's like, dude, we are we created the iPhone, we are the most technologically advanced society that has ever been on the face of the planet. Congratulations, good for you. Can you figure out how they built the Sphinx? Can you figure out how they built the Great Pyramids? Because they did it. We can't. What's that tell you? I mean, really, if you want to measure the advanced, how advanced the society was, can you duplicate their creations? Can you recreate their monoliths? Can you recreate their structures? Can you do that? No. We can't recreate that. We can't do it. It's like, holy crap, but yeah, I mean, I know it's a lot to take in, guys. And it is. I had definitely, supposedly Egypt was a rainforest type area and is one of the theories. Absolutely. And it was. I mean, there is evidence that it was a rainforest, a tropical environment at one point in time. Okay. Now, I actually hadn't intended on going in here. We're going to take a quick break, actually. And when I return, because I got to tinkle. I just said tinkle as a grown-ass man. I just said, I gotta urinate. There's something wrong with me. I'm going to head to the restroom. And when we get back, we're going to talk about something else, all right? Because this is another aspect, something that is extremely intriguing to me. And it's like, dude. So that's what we want to talk about. Couple minutes, guys. I'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the Ho Ho Show. So yes, guys, I feel much better now. Thank you very much for being concerned about my well-being. So, but yeah, Samantha put in here, supposedly Egypt was a rainforest type area, and that is one of the theories. And you are absolutely right, because they have found very clear evidence of a tropical type of environment, over there. So, like I said, there's another city that I want to talk about, which is it's an amazing city. Mm-hmm. It is an amazing city, and it is definitely not the place where Stan Lee thought it was. Did you? Oh wait, that's never mind.
What? That's because that's what we talked about for most of my show.
Yeah, it is. Well, I was throwing that in there, but it's like, wait a second. He's Marvel. Aquaman's DC.
Right.
Yeah, so that doesn't fit whatsoever.
Right.
But this isn't where Aquaman thinks it is because, okay, I'm talking about the city of Atlantis. It was a real place, guys. It actually did exist. A lot of people have a couple theories as far as to where its location is. You know. Now, here's one of the things, too, about the city of Atlantis. You know, I mean, it has been hugely, you know, dramatized, you know, by Disney, by, you know, the storybooks as far as how technologically advanced it was. But, I mean, you know, there isn't anything written that really says how advanced they are, just that they did have, you know, they were a technologically advanced city. You know, that's pretty much all it says. It doesn't say how. It doesn't say what type of stuff that they had. You know, it was a military outpost. It was a, you know, it was a hub, you know, for merchants, for, you know, just, it was a hub. It was a hub of society in the time frame. You know, that's what it was. You know, that's what it was. Neat, interesting stuff, you know. But here's the thing. What, Plato, was it, that was the one who wrote about it in Titiphus and the Seriphus?
I believe so.
And I'm getting the names wrong, but it's kind of sort of close. But there's 2 books that he wrote about, and this was something that was, you know, a 6th generation up there from him, Socrates or
Socrates.
Yeah, Socrates. Yeah, dude, you're
Socrates.
good. Yeah, Socrates. Yeah, whatever.
Bill and Ted.
You're good. What I was
my
thinking
friend
too.
Socrates.
This is my friend Socrates. Oh my God! All right. So we're good. But he wrote about this city, and he described it. I mean, not in great detail, but he described it. He described its location, and he described what it, more or less, what it looked like and whatnot. And so here's the thing. You have Plato, who was a acknowledged philosopher and historian. And the city of Atlantis is the one thing, because they don't want to accept the truth, that he lied about it. He was being philosophical. No, he was speaking history. You know, he was speaking history. But this is like, okay, he's a very intelligent man. He's a philosopher. He is a historian who was writing about a historical place and historical things that had happened. But on this, he's lying. Everything else, he's told the truth. But this one particular thing, he's lying. And that's more or less what they say, you know.
And then that don't make any sense, because what would he gain from lying about it?
Exactly, because here's another thing. Here's an aspect of this. I want you guys to think about it, okay? Now, let's say you hear that something happened and it was big. Let's just say you hear, I was really debating on which direction I should go with this. I've landed on this one. Okay. Heaven forbid, let's say there's an earthquake and the peninsula of Florida falls off. Okay. And you're like, no way. No. You go there and you check it out for yourself. You're somebody who was around in the time frame where you know that Florida absolutely was a thing. It exists. Maybe you've been there. I've been there, you know.
Here.
So you hear that it falls off the face of the map. Well, one, I know that Florida was there, so I know that when I go down there, I should expect to see something because I've been there before and I've seen something before. Now I'm going to go down there and I will either be able to confirm or deny or, you know, validate or invalidate your claim. That's what was going on, not Plato's day, but Bill's day. You know, it was verifiable. You know, there were people that were still around that were like, yes, this actually happened. Okay, so that's what we're talking about back then. Okay, now, not so much. Back then, yes. So if he lied about it, you know, if where he got his information from, if they had lied about it, it wouldn't have survived. it would have been moved from the truth category of literature to the not so true category of literature, and it would be ignored, and it wouldn't have survived the test of time. What say you?
Well, kind of saying, going off of if he lied about it, other people would have refuted it because other people had gone down there.
Exactly. There was people around that could validate his claim and to say that it wasn't true. So yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple places, because I've heard people say that it's in Antarctica. I've heard people say that it is, Greenland. Underneath the ice on both places, which didn't really add up to me because it was like, okay, that doesn't really make sense because, Plato said that it was south of the sea of unbreakable landmass. It was south of there. What's that thing where you go into the Mediterranean Sea? What's that called? The Sea of Crap. There's this awesome thing out there that's available on the thing called the internet. And, you can't lie on the internet. But, it's Google Maps, which is absolutely amazing. Maps, Google Maps. There we go. And so there's that.
Are you talking about the entrance into the Mediterranean?
Hey, actually, cool. That's where it is. Yeah, right there. No. I'm talking about the entrance into the Mediterranean. The thing that I'm going to right now. By Gibraltar.
It's a strait.
Yeah, the Strait of Gibraltar. Yeah, so right there, it said it's south of there, and it's like, okay, well, you hold on. All right, let me back the train up a little bit. Let me zoom out. That's zooming out a lot. Let me zoom out, and we're going to give you guys some little aid here. All right, here's the thing. Now the cool thing is you can actually already see where the city of Atlantis is right now. Mm-hmm. If you know what you're looking for, and if you know where it's at, you can. But it says it's to the south of this little thing right here. That's what it says. That's what Plato says. It's to the south of here. So let's go south of there. There. But that's land. Well, it wasn't back then. Am I actually on the right spot? Yeah, I am. I think. I'm not on the right spot. I have to be on the right spot. Yeah, I'm on the right spot. I'm not at the right spot.
No, I was just saying.
I wasn't at the right spot. I know it's around here. Where did it go? Maybe I was at the right spot. Yeah, I was at the right spot. No. Don't you hate whenever that happens?
Is that it? That dark spot down.
Right here?
No, go down further.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
It shows up.
Yeah, there it is. All right, I found it. It's right here. There it is. There it is. That's it, right here. Whew. It's like I've never done this before. City of Atlantis, right there. There's a name for what this place is. But, okay, so here's the thing. Now that you guys have seen it and you see where it is, northwestern Africa, okay, keeping my thing on it, keep my mouse on it, zooming out. That's where it's at, and that is south of that. Okay, so back in the day, well, okay, let me do this a little bit on the different side. Did I? Right there. Let me do this a little bit on the different side. Antarctica is raising 1.6 feet every single year due to magma volcanic activity underneath pushing it up. Did you know that?
I had caught wind of some of that.
Yeah. So let's go back to this. Zoom it out. Look at this. You have evidence of rising, falling, an unstable something geologically unstable about that area. You have very clear evidence of that. Okay. It's neat stuff, man. I tell you what, I'm intrigued.
I think that they refer to that as, they call it the Eye of the Sahara.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it's called, and it's the Ricat structure is what it's actually labeled as. But yes, it is referred to as the Eye of the Sahara. Now, here's the intriguing part about this, though. Okay, this area has never been excavated. It's never, they've not had geologists in there. Indiana Jones has not had an opportunity to go in there and digging and looking for, anything. He's not had an opportunity to go in there. That's intriguing to me. Never had the opportunity.
Is there a reason why?
Well, see, in that area, it is not tourist friendly. It is there's a lot of terrorists over there, and it's not a very safe place. Let's just put it that way. It's not a very safe place.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's more or less what it amounts to. So they haven't been able to get over there. They haven't been able to excavate the land. They really haven't had an opportunity to, really explore the area. But what little exploration of it that has been done, I mean, not really digging, but being able to find stuff on the surface, it's like, dude, okay, well, this is cool. Because, it has been written about that there's, red, white, and blue stones was used in the building of the city of Atlantis. And guess what they found all over the place over there? Red, white, and blue stones. Very, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the only place that's ever used, building quite like that. But, okay, here's my point on this, guys. Here's my point. It's intriguing. Okay? It's intriguing. It's interesting. Bright insight. Check it out. He's got so much information he throws in. There's like 3 or 4 different videos just on the city of Atlantis alone. And this is the type of thing that, it's like, okay, now, do I believe that the city of Atlantis existed? Yes, absolutely. Why would I not believe that? Do I believe that it is as technologically advanced as what they would portray it out to be in the Lost City of Atlantis on, the Disney cartoon version that they did of it? No. That's kind of far-fetched. So, no, that I don't believe. But I do believe the city of Atlantis was a real place, Why would I not? Why would Plato have lied about it? So, I mean, yeah, I believe it was real. I believe it actually existed, And with, like, as far as the Egyptian, the Great Pyramids, it's like, I know that what I have been led to believe isn't actually true. I'm not going to go as far as to say that they willingly lied to me, but they told me the best information they had. Let's just say that. Let's give our educators the benefit of the doubt. They gave us the best information that they had at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Anymore, they really do know that what they're saying is a lie, but in a matter of speaking, we don't have anything better to tell them. And at this point, that's probably what it amounts to. They don't have anything else better to tell us. So let's just keep going with the lie. We don't know what it is, so let's not speculate at this point.
Could look at it as, it's a hypothesis. Which a hypothesis is just an educated guess with the information they had at that point in time.
Okay. We'll go with that. Ooh, Christine Conti put in here, I just Googled Atlantis, new story about ancient structures found underwater of Spain. Yeah. Yeah, and they've found cities, roads, all kinds of things. And like just off of the shores of different places. Well, where am I thinking of? Actually, I think Portugal and Spain would be one of them that I've heard about. I'm trying to remember on some of the other places that I've heard, but I can't think of them right now. But yeah, but evidence of ancient structures, cities, of how the ground has either sunk due to some type of a catastrophic event, or the water levels have risen to where it's now underwater. I mean, and there's evidence of that. And I think somewhere in South America, off the coast of someplace in South America, there's, there was like an actual road that they had found, and they named it something. I don't remember what it was. I think Portugal or Spain was one of them that I had heard of. I don't know. Sometimes I get research happy and I watch way too much stuff, and just, too much information going into my head, and it's like there's no filter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, the first time I tried to root my phone, this is one heck of a segue. The first time I tried to root my phone, it took me 2 days to do it. Want to know why? Because I watched like 20 stinking YouTube videos of like 4 different ways to do it, and I'm trying to combine every single one of them, and it took me 2 days to go, hold up a minute. I got to pick one way.
Mm-hmm.
I got to do it right, and then move on. I had to do the MASH.
Yeah.
The guy.
Mash.
No. The guy in MASH that was the doctor. You do one thing, you do it very well,
Yeah.
and then you move on. I had to do him because I was way too much ADD at the moment. So, I mean, it was just, that's what I had to do. So, I mean, yeah, I do that a lot with sometimes. I get like very research happy, and I'll just start watching this and reading that. And next thing you know, too much crap's going into my brain, and I'm like, what do I do? So. But yeah, I mean, there's all kinds, Christine, there is all kinds of different evidence as far as, different things that has been found underwater. You're absolutely right on that. There's a lot of different, not so much cities, but roadways that they have found, and like some like statues or remnants of it. I mean, maybe not necessarily cities, buildings, and different things like that, but like definite roadways and, evidence of, statues, different things of that nature, So I mean, yeah, there's a lot of different things that have been found right off the coast of various places. Yeah, interesting stuff though. I've always been intrigued by that kind of stuff. I really have, because there's so much we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's always intrigued me. That's why it's always been a source of something for me. The word was right there, and then it just took off. But it's always been a source of intrigue for me, and it always has been. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I've always found it very intriguing. I've always found it like, dude, I'm curious now. I mean, dude, there's so much. Excuse me. There's so much mystery on the planet. I mean, there really is. I mean, you look at. You look at Antarctica, you look at, the abyss, there's so much we don't know. There's so much wildlife underneath our oceans that we don't know about. There's just so much there. That's like, dude, this is cool. This is neat, Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know if you heard about it or not, the impact crater they found in Greenland underneath the ice.
Yes. I don't remember where it was at, but yeah, I had heard about that. Yeah, an impact crater, a good size impact crater too. I mean, it wasn't as deep as what they were saying it should have been, but I mean, it was still definitely an impact crater, because there was like, this should be like what, 3 or 4 times deeper than what it is, But they were like, this is an impact crater. It should be deeper, but this is still huge.
Yeah, because I think it ranks as one of the top 20 largest in the world.
Oh, really? It was that big? I didn't remember.
I think they ranked. It's ranked down towards the bottom, like number 16.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different impact crater then. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one, because I don't think this one was that big. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't remember. I've slept since then. Wow, impact crater like that. That's cool.
Yeah, and who knows what all's underneath the ice in Antarctica?
Oh yeah, I mean, we have absolutely no clue what's underneath the ice in Antarctica. This ain't Antarctica. It's down here somewhere.
There
it is. Yay! Yeah, I mean, there is just, dude, and that's one of them things too that I found, intriguing about Antarctica. Okay, it's one, they, and this is again, from what Sam had said in Facebook. This is another aspect of, there is evidence you know, that they have found in the core samples that they had taken from the ice in Antarctica, that it too at one time, and this is based off of the algae that they have found and the bacteria that they have found in the ice, that it too was at one time a tropical environment. You know, Antarctica. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
They say that at one time, and like I said, this is based off of the algae that they have found and the bacteria that they have found in the core samples of the ice, that it at one time was a tropical environment. That I thought was cool.
Which means at one point it supported wildlife, including dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a trove of treasure there.
Yeah, it's hard to, you know, but that's one of them things too that I thought was intriguing about, you know, World War II. Okay, how many world leaders and world powers went to Antarctica? We still have a base on Antarctica. You know, I mean, I know some of the you know, the more outlandish claims of like alien ships have been found and all this, that, and the other. And I mean, there was a very, very amazing documentary that was done not that long ago. You know, Alien vs. Predator. Amazing. Like how I threw that in there as a documentary. That was very great, right? You know, Paradise Lost. Yeah, exactly. Paradise Lost. Yeah. You know, but yeah, I mean, there was, you know, the Alien vs. Predator. That was underneath Antarctica, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was. So, I mean, yeah, ancient spaceship technology that we don't even know what it's used for. It's for the game. I'm such a weirdo. It is so much fun. But yeah, you know, but there's so much there that we don't, you know, we just don't know. You know, it's a lot of questions we don't even know. And there is like, dude, there's been like some structures that have been pictured on Antarctica that's like, we didn't put that there.
Mm-hmm.
That was there when we got there. You know, so it's like, very interesting. Oh, yeah. It's like aliens. Should we even go into aliens? I mean, we're kind of going off. We're kind of going off the deep end on some of this stuff, you know. But it's like, you know, it's like aliens. I've had people ask me, it's like, you know, how do you know, believe in UFOs? Blah 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 blah. I'm like, I don't know, you know, because like I believe in the possibility. You know, I believe in the possibility. You know, God made us. Who's to say He didn't make others? You know, who's to say? You know, I don't know. It would be pretty arrogant of us to think that of the billions and billions of stars out there, that ours is the only one that has a planet rotating it, or at least a body of mass, whether it be a planet or a moon, that is capable of, you know, life.
Sustaining life.
Obviously.
Orbiting a star,
You know,
that meets all the right conditions, which they have found planets out there that meet the same conditions that ours do.
Actually, I think they've found two that they speculate. They speculate. Christine Conti puts in the in Spreaker chat. She goes, "Why is Antarctica kept so secret, and do we really know what is done there?" You know, it's a good question. And no, we don't. We have no idea what's being done in Antarctica. I mean, for me, I mean it's a source of intrigue. You know, it's a definite source of intrigue, you know. But yeah, I mean, there's, you know, different things, and I've seen pictures on this on the web, you know, different structures. I was actually given the not code. I was given, you know, that almost looks like, never mind, coordinates to a structure in there. And this was like, I guess, 3. Dadgummit, I did it again. Stop it, ho-ho. So anyway, but yeah, I was given a coordinates to a place, and I don't, holy crap, did I actually just find it? No, I didn't. There ain't no way I found it that quick. Actually, I think I may have just found it that quick. There ain't no way. Okay, no, I did not find it just that quick. Okay, very good. See, there for a second, I scared myself because I'm like, dude, I just zoomed in on something and that's what I was looking for. No, but, you know, there's a place you know, it's like some structures, and it looks like some. I mean, truth be told, it almost looks like it was a freightliner, a steamboat trolley, you know, a Titanic that was out there, and you know, it's like it looked like some smokestacks, some this, that, and the other. I mean, that's kind of what it looked like. Hard telling what it actually was, but it was like, yeah, interesting, you know. But yeah, Christine puts a very good, you know, a very good question in here. You know, why do they keep it so secret? And what is really going on out there? You know, what's being done out there? You know, so I mean, yeah, it's a definite source of wonder as far as I'm concerned. You know,
definitely, and like you said, you know, there are other countries in the world have had things set up over there.
Mhm.
Germans were one of them. They had
Germans they had bases out there. Stalin, you know, had bases out there. We had bases out there. You know, and it's a lot of questions as far as what's being done out there. And really, truth be told, now this again is me throwing out a speculation. So take it for what it is, a speculation of an educated idiot. And this is also kind of based off of the conversation that we've also had today, okay, with ancient Egypt, you know, ancient technologies, stuff like that. I think that in a matter of speaking, they have found, because with it being preserved underneath the ice, they have found it in a very, you know, maybe not necessarily a working condition, but a, you know what, if we were able to, you know, get the mothership close enough, because we can't turn the ship on because we can't duplicate the aliens' technology, you know, and of course I'm talking about the movie, you know, Independence Day at the moment, okay? You know, when Data underneath the Area 51, and so that's what I'm talking about right now. Do you remember that part of the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
I know what you're talking about.
All right, okay. So, you know, maybe not working condition, but it's like, dude, if we could just figure out how to turn the power on or how to duplicate the energy source, this could possibly work. You know, it might be one of those type of things. You know, that the truth is stranger than fiction. We've all heard that type of thing. You know, we've all heard that type of thing. Truth is stranger than fiction. So thinking about it that way, it's like, dude, it's possible for what we know is plausible, maybe, with ancient Egypt and ancient technology, that it's a very good possibility and even plausible that they found ancient technology, regardless of whether or not it's alien technology. I'm not going to go that far, at least at this point in time. You know, I mean, this is a big enough of a step to take it with this direction without throwing the alien aspect into it. But because of with it being underneath the ice, well preserved, it's a very good possibility that they found it. Something, technology, remnants of ancient civilization that proves that what we thought we knew, we truly had no idea. That's what I think it amounts to. What do you think?
It's a possibility because, you know, like we said, you know, life did flourish there at one time. And there's possibilities civilizations did flourish there.
Yeah.
I think you got to give the human race some credit for everything that we have survived through.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
to
yeah.
be able to conquer and overcome.
Oh, yeah. We are a resilient race. You know, that we have that opposable thumb, which is amazing. That's the only reason why cats have not, you know, that's the only reason why they don't rule the planet, is because, you know, we've invented canned cat food and they don't have thumbs to be able to open their own cans. That's the only reason. They're using us.
And that's why they're so upset and knock everything off.
That's why they knock everything off the table, because they're like, open up my can of tuna. You know?
I can almost see the bottom of my bowl.
I don't like that little piece of food in there. And I got one of my hairs in my water dish, whoosh, splashing it all over the place. Dude, cats have attitude, man. I'm telling you. I like cats, and Gabe was one of them. He would just look at you, just mean mug you.
Oh, yeah.
And then knock your glass onto the floor. You better pray to God that it's not a glass one. That's how Gabe was. He'd just look at you and be like, huh? You like cats too? I love cats. Yeah, Deb put in here, whatever man can conceive, he can do. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and that's actually, you know, that's one of the things they talk about in Scripture, you know, that there will come a time when technology will be, you know, whatever you can conceive, you'll be able to do. That technology will know no bounds. You know, that's one of the things that it talks about. And I mean, quite honestly, dude, look around, man. We are there. You know, I mean, dude, you look at basically every single movie out there. There's no such thing as science fiction anymore. It's maybe science fantasy, but not science fiction. We've cloned sheep. Mm-hmm. We can clone people. We can find dino DNA, replace it with what's in frogs, and make them flip flop genders, and I mean they're gender fluid.
Wow.
And they can do that, you know. So I mean, we can do what happened in Jurassic World. The possibility is, okay, we can do that. Mm-hmm. We can duplicate the technology, sure. You know, so I mean, you think about it of what we have done, and you look at movies, and it's like, dude, we're only a matter of time before we get to the technological space of, like, you know, iRobot with, you know, because I mean, dude, quantum computing, you know, will make it possible for that type of robot. Only way to do it.
Yep.
Quantum computing. Or maybe even a step beyond quantum computing. You know, using light as a, and this is amazing, you know, using light as a place of which to house, you know, and store information. That's amazing. I mean, where we're at technologically wise, big word, is amazing. I hate English. You know what I mean? We're there, though. I mean, we really are. I mean, you really look at what we have accomplished just in the past, you know, 20 years, just in our lifetime, what we've accomplished. We went from a bag phone to this stinking thing, to where now we can now fold them in half and put them back in our pockets now because. What company was that actually released a version of a foldable, you know, smartphone?
Yeah, I can't pronounce their
Yeah, I
name.
can't pronounce it. It's the guys that starts with an H, you know? So, I mean, you know, we're there. Technologically speaking, we are there. I mean, we live in amazing times. We really do. It's very, very awesome, you know? Yeah. All right. You know what? I think that's your show. I think we've rambled and confused our audience enough. You know, very good time. Now, normally I don't do this type of a show. I really don't. But, you know, this is just one of them things that I've wanted to. I love this type of stuff. I mean, I really do. I'm intrigued by ancient civilizations. I'm intrigued by it. You know, it's amazing. It's amazing what we don't know. You know, and this is an aspect of it's not a question of whether or not I believe. I believe in the possibility. I believe that it's possible. I believe that there is more out there than what we really know. So why not? You know, why not, you know, open our mind to the possibility and explore the possible to figure out maybe, hey, this actually makes way more sense than what they're trying to tell us is true. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, that's one of the aspects of faith, you know, why I'm a Christian, you know, because, it's way more believable, divine intervention, other than the Big Bang Theory. It's way more believable.
Yeah.
I've never won the lottery. If the Big Bang Theory is true, we won the biggest lottery in the universe. And many. That's kind of why I believe divine intervention, you know? But anyway, that's a whole different show right there. Anyway, you got anything else to add?
I was gonna bring up Camelot.
Yeah.
Camelot's along with what we discussed about Atlantis. Camelot's along the same lines. It was embellished. You know, it's been embellished how it's told to us that it was this massive kingdom and everything. And they're finding facts that you got to lower your expectations. More like a Popper. I mean, they weren't knights with metal armor. Kind of think of it more like leather.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a guy who was sick of the way things were ran, and it's like, hey, we're going to do it right, and this is how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And they think they've got it narrowed down to a couple of places of where it actually existed. So,
well, I mean, think about it, and I'm actually intrigued by that too, because think about it. What do we know? Stop, rewind, play. What do we know about royalty back then? On a pedestal, on a platform, on a throne, at the head of the table.
Mm-hmm.
How did Camelot run it?
How did they run it?
Yeah.
We ran it at a round table where everybody was equal.
Exactly. Is that something that a pauper would do, or is that something that a king would do?
Something to think about.
Exactly. It actually makes perfect sense, because that's not the actions of a king. I don't care how humble you are. I don't care how humble you are.
Especially in that time period.
Yes. But yeah, that's just that is something that is, yeah. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's cool stuff. Camelot. I want to pull a sword from a stone.
That would be awesome.
That'd be cool. Anyway. All right, guys. Well, I thank you guys very much for tuning in and being part of the show. Oh, yeah. Let's talk Weaponized Sloth Productions. All right, so we've got some awesome stuff, guys. So we've got, group of friends, we've known each other for freaking years. You've been in the, in the podcast business as co-host of the Machine Radio Show for 4 years.
Yeah, I would say about 4.
Okay. I've been in it for about a year. You've got your own show that you got off the ground and is rocking it. So we're getting together, and we are doing our own internet radio station that we are going to be doing a hard launch the first of the year. I'm excited about it. It's very, very cool. We got a decent lineup so far. We've got a lot of room for growth, but right now we've got, show every night, 5 nights a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So nothing on Sunday or Wednesday at this point, but we are going to be playing archive. So just a lot of good times. I have a show that I'm going to be launching, the movie review with me and
moi.
I didn't do the moi that time. That was awesome. So yeah, we're going to be doing a movie review, and that's going to be a fun show. I am so looking forward to getting into that show. That's going to be a blast.
Yes, definitely.
I am so looking forward to that show. Oh, that's good stuff. Yeah, it's going to be a great time. So it's just things have been moving. Things have just been going. Just very, very awesome. Some growth that we've already been seeing, a lot of different places. Very, very cool. It's a good time, man. So I'm excited to get this off the ground and just see, we're just group of friends doing it because, hey, we're bored. Why not? We can do this. We have voices. We got microphones. Let's do this. Maybe people will listen. So, it'll be awesome. We're going to have our own URL associated with the, Weaponized Sloth. We're going to have our own downloadable app available on Android and iOS. See, we do include the Apple people out there. Our Apple friends are important. I do have people that listen on Apple. iOS is a platform I got. I don't know who they are, but ancient history, great topic, cool, can't wait. Good luck, and thank you very much, Christine. That's awesome. But yeah, so there's a lot of different things. So I'm excited about what's coming up, what's going on, and I hope you guys come on over for the ride and just take a look at it, see what it's all about, see if you like it. Keep coming back. So y'all have yourself a great one. Thank you very much for participating in the show. So good night, sleep tight, and if them bed bugs bite, then by golly, bite them back.
Yeah, and thanks for sticking around with us.
Yeah, we ramble sometimes.
Sometimes.
But it's a good time, though. I like it. I enjoy it.
It's with my show being fairly new, I was telling you earlier about going through statistics where you can pull up geographically where people are listening from.
Yeah.
And I'm going through there and I'm like, what? I don't know anybody that lives in Texas. Who's listening to me in Texas? That's awesome.
Right? Did I kid you not? My first live, and this was like, when I first got going into doing this, dude, I wasn't telling anybody what I was up to. Nothing. And I hit the live button and I went ahead and I went live. I shut the show down. Live listen on Spreaker. I was like, holy crap, there ain't no way. How does this even happen? A live listen. Holy crap.
I didn't tell anyone.
Exactly. And it was somebody from India.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was like, what? I'm dot, not feather. So it was I'm going to hell.
Oh.
Good time though.
Yeah, and so it's like me, I go through and I know most people are family and friends that are listening to, but like almost half of my listeners are coming from Texas. And I'm like, I don't know anybody in Texas.
Right.
That is awesome.
Yeah. It's cool stuff.
Yeah, it is.
It is. It's very neat. Oh, yes. And Deb says, love you guys. Good night. Thank you very much for stopping by. You are amazing as always. And thank you, Christine. Thank you. Who else is in there? I've already forgot. Snarkette popped in and Lily, and she's gone right now. But and Samantha, you're awesome too. Thank you guys. And Howard, yes. I'll see you in the morning, actually, by the way.
We love our listeners.
Yes, my music just died. Crap. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye-bye.